There's no easy way out. I just wanna know there's no easy way out. No easy way out. I'm not asking for another chance.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the No Easy Way Out podcast. My name is Tony Nash, and we are coming to you as always from the Woodworth building in beautiful downtown Owosso, home to my company AZ Branding Solutions, where we help grow your brand from A to Z. And speaking of brands, I'm really excited about our guest today because he has an absolutely incredible brand, kind of new to the area. I'm looking forward to introducing him and what he does to the community. So our guest today is Nick Seabasty from Dead Bread. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Seabasty?
Yeah. Seabasty. Yeah.
Seabasty?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. So, Nick, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Before we get into Dead Bread and what that is, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Nick Seabasty. I'm originally from Woodbridge, New Jersey.
Jersey guy, I didn't know that.
Lived here for 7 years, I think. 8 years almost, actually. Actually, it's 8 years this month.
Our business is 8 years old, so you must have
Really?
moved here right around the time we got started.
Nice, awesome. Actually, yeah, Dead Bread's been around for 7 years now. So.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'm originally from New Jersey. I moved here because my daughter, and yeah, this is where I'm at now. So
Well, welcome to O-Town, man.
thank you.
So tell us a little bit about Dead Bread, what you are, what you do, where you're located. Give us all the things.
Dead Bread started as a clothing brand. Real quick, do you want me looking at you or at the camera?
Me, yeah, it's
Okay.
fine. Yep.
All right, cool.
Yep.
That's what I figured.
And if you ever want to talk directly to the audience, you can look at the camera as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Dead Bread started as a clothing brand back in 2016. We're actually coming up on, I don't know, was that 7, 8 years?
Somewhere in that time.
Yeah, it was
I don't want to do
October.
math.
Yeah, exactly. So, we started as a clothing brand. We were always involved with BMX and skateboarding. So when we opened up the storefront here in Owosso, we wanted to bring in skate brands and BMX brands along with it and support where it came from. So
Yeah.
that's what we're doing.
So, I mean, I got to meet you early on when you were doing it. I love what you guys are doing. Like I said, from our perspective, and we work with a lot of brands, but you guys have an awesome brand. My son, who is 16, loves skateboarding. He's bought a board from you, bought some merch.
Yep.
He loves your brand as well. I'm actually wearing today his Nike SB collab with Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan 4 is one of my favorite, and they did a collab. So I thought, well, with Nick coming on, I got to wear some skate shoes.
Oh, yeah.
So they're a little tight on me, but they're pretty sweet. It's a good collab.
It was good.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, they did a good job with it. But obviously you're passionate about what you tell us a little bit about like what you love so much about what you do and about skating and the culture and all that.
So I've been riding BMX since I was 12 years old, and I was skateboarding at the same time. And as time went on, BMX just kind of took over for me. And I ended up riding professionally at the age of 17, 18, right in there. And it's just always been a part of my life. And throughout that time of being sponsored from then to now, I've learned a lot about the clothing industry and just everything that comes with it. And
Yeah,
I
it's a tough
love
business,
clothing.
but yeah.
So I wanted to make something out of that. So
Well, you do a good job with it, man. Really, like your brand is solid. It's good. Actually, didn't know you did professional BMX. So talk a little bit about that. Like what you said, you started when you were 17. How long did you do that for?
I'm still actively.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I still ride for two companies. One company called Animal Bikes, and the second company is out of Argentina called 80s Bike Company. Still doing it now. When I was 17 years old, this guy, Brian Tunney, that worked for ESPN, he asked me to actually make a video for ESPN, and I ended up picking up my first big sponsor off of that called Colt, and just kind of started from there and kept going.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, it's been
awesome.
fun.
So, you said you started with the online sales and, building the brand online. And now you've, transitioned to a brick and mortar.
Yep.
Tell me about the difference that you've experienced. Like, I know there's probably a lot of people out there that have online brands and they're thinking like, maybe converting to or adding a brick and mortar location, and obviously that brings its own set of challenges. But talk to us about your experience with that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's way different. I mean, I've wanted to do a brick and mortar for a long time with it, just to kind of solidify where I'm at with it. But I don't know. It's just obviously a lot more work to run a brick and mortar.
Sure.
So
For sure.
I'm there physically all the time. Even
Yeah.
when I'm closed, I'm still there after hours, before hours. I was sitting down there taking care of stuff before I came here, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is way different. It's way more time consuming.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that
that's-
helps, right?
Yeah.
When you enjoy what you do, I mean, you know, being an entrepreneur, which a lot of people want to be, and I don't think everybody is an entrepreneur, but everybody kind of wants to. It seems to be like a trending thing right now, and I think if you can work for yourself, if you have the ability, you should. Like to me, it's better. And there is more freedom in it, but it's just different, right? Like
Yes,
you are going to be
exactly.
married to the business. You're going to own it. And if something's got to happen, you got to take care of it. And so there are, you know, ups and downs of that. But that's why it's important that you do something you love. Like if you are in something strictly for the money, like it's just a way for me to make money, then those times where you're like stuck at the shop at midnight when everyone else is home sleeping, or it's a holiday weekend and everyone's out on the lake and that's going to feel like, well, this sucks. I don't want to do it. But when you love it, it really helps get through that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I've had a lot of people ask me over time if they should do it or get into it. And that's always my first thing is telling them, like, make sure you love it.
100%.
Because so many people, they try specifically clothing, you know, they talk to me about it and they try it and they're in it for the money and instantly they don't see the profits coming in. So they just stop. And I see it all the time. And that's why Dead Bread has stuck around this long, is because I love doing it.
Passion,
you know, it's like, it was never like, I'm making thousands of dollars off the bat doing this right now, but like,
Because you don't.
yeah, exactly.
Right? You
it
don't.
takes time. Yeah.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah,
Well, and I think that's where people go wrong is they start with, how can I make money?
exactly.
And there's a lot of ways to make money out there.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I am always amazed because we meet a lot of different businesses, and I'm like, dude, you're making money doing this? That's incredible. Like, I never even thought about that. I learn new things all the time. There's so many ways to make money, but if the money is the leading motivation, it will wear out. You can never get enough money.
Yeah, exactly.
It always seems to be hard to get it, and those times when you got to push through the difficulties, and it's like the passion you have for it is what's going to push you through.
Oh, yeah,
And there are
100%.
times where this business completely owns my life, but I love what we do so much that it just, you know, it's worth it to me.
Exactly.
And so I think that people need to, like, if you're watching and you're thinking like, you know, I want to start a business or start a brand, I always encourage people to try something. You know, I always say try something great, but, you know, make sure it's something you have some passion about. Make sure it's something that you really want to do. And it's easy to come up with an idea, but to execute that idea and then do it day after day after day, that's where the challenge comes in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we talked about the brand. I love the brand.
Thank you.
I think it's very solid. So how did you come up with the name?
This question gets asked a lot. The name's kind of a long story that I'll try to keep short.
Okay.
But basically, one of my friends growing up, she started working for the app called Vine back when it was
Oh, wow.
a
Yeah.
thing.
I remember Vine.
Yeah.
Like
And
the precursor to TikTok.
oh yeah, yeah.
7
And-
seconds at a time.
Yeah, exactly. And her whole thing was working with, like, you know, the popular people of Vine and getting them deals and stuff.
Influencers.
Yes. So she wanted to do that with me because she was trying to leave Vine and do her own thing. But she couldn't use anyone she worked with Vine on her resume or in her portfolio. So she asked to do it with me on her own. And she wanted some type of merchandise brand behind me. And I was like, well, I've always thought about doing some type of clothing brand because that's what I love doing.
Yeah.
And she wanted it to be like a Seabasty related line. And
Yeah.
I was like, no, I don't want to do that. That's weird to me. So, I started thinking of names and relatively quick came up with Dead Bread based off of something between my friends and I.
Okay.
And it was one of those things that just kind of rolled off our tongues and stuck in my head. And it's kind of just stemmed off from that, just me and my friends having this little inside thing. And
See, I always love the science behind coming up with a name because, you know, a lot of people, I certainly overanalyzed what we were going to call this. I mean, I had a bunch of names. I started with my name and it was like Nash Marketing or something.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. And then I went to 11th Hour Marketing, and then because I'm a very like last minute person sometimes, and so I'm like, but I don't know if that's a good message to my clients.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
so we went through the whole thing, and we ended on AZ. And when you come up with a name, it's like this isn't anything. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But that's why you have the opportunity to make it mean something. To build a brand around it, and that's what's cool. I think the best brands have those unique names, and so now, like for me, I mean, I've only known you for a little bit, but when I think Dead Bread, I think of one thing. So that's and you've done a good job of like creating an actual brand.
Thank you.
So tell us about some of the things that people can get from Dead Bread.
Like I said, it started as a clothing brand, so we make everything from socks, shorts, sweatpants, shirts, hoodies, hats. So literally head to toe everything, but we make accessories like mugs and lighters and air fresheners and all that stuff. And then outside of the Dead Bread brand, we carry skateboard brands, BMX brands. So we try to carry accessories, clothing, and whatever you would need for skateboards and BMX bikes from those brands as well. So that's all the stuff you can get there now. And then shortly we will have shoes as well.
Oh, really? So, what kind?
We are working with Vans soon. So,
very, very cool. Yeah, Dan will be very happy. He's a big, and my son, they love Vans. Like me and my two older sons were big like Jordans, Air Max, but he loves Vans. Like, that's his favorite. So
same here.
So he'll be in there a lot. So, so other than the sneakers coming soon, what is going on with the business today? Like, what are some things coming up that you want the community to know about?
Trying to think if there's anything else besides the Vans shoes coming up.
Or what would you say to the people who've never stopped in?
I will say I get a lot of people that instantly just think skateboards, and they're just like, oh, it's a skate shop, I'm not going there type of thing. But like I said, it started as a clothing brand. We make everything head to toe, and quality is the first thing for me. So just trying to create quality products to be a brand based out of Owosso, Michigan is what I'm trying to do. So
I love it, man. I love it. Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So then I guess the best way to maybe ask this question is, I like to ask my guests, like, who's your target audience, or like, who's the person that should come see you, come visit the store?
As of right now, I mean, we have literally kids from 5, 6 years old wanting to come to the store, all the way up to people who are 60 coming in. A lot of people with our fleece wear stuff specifically say it's their favorite, like sweatshirts and shorts and hats and pants. Just that stuff alone. I've had, like I said, people 50, 60 years old buy a sweatshirt from me and they come back saying it's their favorite. So
very cool.
Like I said, quality is most important to us. So it's literally anywhere from 5 years old up. So
you do all your own design?
Yep.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
I occasionally try to collaborate with other artists and stuff like that to incorporate other people.
Of course, you have to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just because I love art and I love people who are also involved in art, so trying to incorporate those people too is awesome for me.
You got to spend some time around here, man. We have lots of artists here, graphic designers, web designers, videographers. They just love talking shop. So anytime you want to stop by, if you need a place to work off-site, come sit up here, work, use the conference room, have a good time with it. It's good sometimes to be around other creatives, So,
definitely.
And then when we're done today, I'm going to give you a tour of the whole place. I'll show you the print shop, and I'll show you this. It's pretty cool what we're trying to do here as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it is the challenge starting something like this in a small town. People kind of get used to what a small town should have, the local pharmacy, the local drugstore, the local gas station, and so having a business that's maybe a little outside of the box for a small area creates its own challenges. But the good thing about you, or even what we do, is we can offer our stuff to anyone in the whole world.
Oh yeah,
because we're utilizing the internet, and I think a lot more businesses should do that. So, all right, so we have a segment on our show that we actually started this season called 50 Questions. Okay, this just gives our listeners a really quick opportunity to get to know you. These are just rapid fire, and just get right into it. So you ready for that?
Yeah.
All right.
Ready as I can be.
All right, Nick. Tell us how you started your day today.
Today, I woke up, got my daughter ready for school. We stopped, grabbed coffee down at Foster, and then headed headed right to school, drop her off, and then after that, I actually forgot a few things this morning, and
Someone told you the podcast was Thursday, but that's all right.
yeah, well, that might have been my fault. My dates are all.
Who knows? Doesn't matter.
I have so many things this week alone that are happening that I'm just like, I don't know. So yeah, I actually sat down by the river for a bit, drinking my coffee. Then I stopped by the store to take care of a few things before opening up, and was gonna go for a little bike ride, and then ended up pedaling over here instead. So
Well, we're glad to have you, man.
Yeah,
We're glad
I'm
to have
happy
you.
that all worked out that way too, because I felt really bad. That I
No,
was
don't feel bad at all, brother. No, happens all the time. If you could spend the day with anyone in the world, who would that be?
my daughter.
Good
Easily.
answer.
Yeah.
And what would you do with your daughter?
Lately, she has loved going on bike rides, which is awesome. She got her training wheels off this past summer, so just going somewhere to ride bikes with her, honestly. We go over to Lansing to ride the river trail a lot, and yeah, she likes to travel around a lot too, so anything like that, being outside with her.
Love it. If you're traveling a short distance, do you prefer to ride a bike or ride a skateboard?
It really depends on my mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, like today I actually debated on what I was going to do between going out and pushing around on the board or riding a bike today, and I ended up choosing the bike to get over here quicker. But yeah, and it also depends on where I'm at too, because if it's nice and smooth and it's not too much of a hassle, then I love cruising around on the board. It's like freedom, honestly. But yeah, it really depends on my mood and where I'm at.
So I'm a 90s kid, and so this question probably dates me a little bit. There's probably much cooler bike lines now than when I was, had my little 20-inch red line.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So my
That's
question
first
is Mongoose or Redline? Because in my day, those were the two like best BMX bikes.
Oh yeah.
You had to have the shocks, the pegs, you had to have the whole thing, But Mongoose or Redline for you, or something else?
That's a tough one. Actually, I thought Redline was my first bike. Mongoose was definitely my first bike.
Yeah. My first was like a Murray. It was terrible, but I got made fun of so bad. You're driving a Murray, like.
I gotta say Mongoose just based on that as my first bike.
Yeah.
Redline's still killing it today, which is cool.
That's cool. I didn't know. I wasn't sure if they were still around, but
yeah, they're still doing stuff. It's not like what they were in the 90s, obviously, but yeah, they're still doing something. So
yeah, you remember that movie? I think it was called Rad.
yeah, oh yeah,
That was like one of my favorite movies growing up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's really nowhere around here to like go do tricks like that. Apparently there was something like behind the old AutoZone.
Spar.
Spar,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
People tell you about Spar. Is that
Oh,
still
yeah.
there?
No.
I guess they tore it down.
Yeah, now we got Rosevere Trails, which is similar. But
Yeah.
Spar's
So I went and
not.
tried that a few times. I'm like, I'm not very good at this, but are you a texter or a caller?
It also depends on so many different things. I like to get calls out of the way if it's something that's like quick and easy, necessary. But then 9 times out of 10, I hate answering my phone, so I will
Understood.
text and message as much as possible. So
Where were you born and raised?
I'm from Woodbridge, New Jersey. I lived there until I was 21 before I moved out to Arizona for a few years and bounced around here and there before ending up here.
All right. Who is your go-to skater in Tony Hawk Pro Skater?
I'd have to say Bam Margera.
Oh, nice. I actually met him.
Yeah, so have I.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
he came to Owosso. I was running the Comstock Inn.
Oh,
And the Hickory Lounge, I think it's called Avenue 21 or 71. I don't know what it's called now. It's over on M71.
The Avenue.
The Avenue,
yeah.
And they had a celebrity appearance of Bam, and so I had to go pick him up from the airport. He stayed at the hotel, and I had to kind of drive him around. And he was like high out of his mind. Like, I don't think he remembers it, but yeah, that's cool. Yeah. He's a very nice guy, though.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Did you go to college?
I did not. No.
I went for like a little bit, but nothing that's substantial. If you did go to college, what would you have studied?
I would say marketing, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. That's the thing is when I was 17, 18, I started riding BMX professionally. So like school kind of got away from me really fast. And I learned everything about marketing through BMX and what I was doing professionally for BMX. So Yeah, I probably would have went to school for marketing, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, I mean, if you're willing to put in the work and do the research, I mean, you can learn a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Just by
Yeah.
being around the right people,
Yep.
watching videos online. Like everything that we do here, I learned by basically YouTube. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
so you just got to be committed to it because
Yeah.
sometimes not going to college, it makes it a little harder because you
Yeah.
got to be willing to put in the work. Now, for me, I feel like college would have been harder for me because I'm not a
Same.
sit in the classroom kind of guy. But doing what I've done without some of the experience or knowledge I maybe would have gained there has made it more challenging, but I'm up to the challenge. So you just
Yeah.
got to know who you are, right? You just got to
Oh,
know
yeah.
who you are. What have you done for the very first time recently?
That's a tough one.
Maybe a
don't
trick
know.
or
I don't know. I don't know. Everything's been pretty routine.
you started
for
a
me.
brick and mortar.
Yeah, I guess
that's
within
pretty
the
recent.
past year.
Yeah,
I guess if that's
pretty recent. Yeah, we can go with that one.
Opening up a store, I guess that's
In
yeah,
10
it's a good
years,
one.
what will you regret doing way too much of?
Me personally.
Yeah.
Overthinking probably.
If you could resurrect one person from history and place them in today's world, who would that be?
These are things
It's
I
a
don't
good
think
one, right?
about very
It's a-
often.
I know, me neither.
That's Robin Williams. I feel like
That's a
we need
good one.
him. I feel like
Yeah.
we need him around more often.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like Robin Williams.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about Owosso?
The community. Honestly, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the first
It's a
easy
great
ones.
community. Yeah.
Yeah. No, great community here.
Okay. Vans, DC, or Nike SB, or something else?
For me, Vans. I love
figured.
what all three brands do for skateboarding and BMX, honestly. But Vans has been it for me for my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
been around forever and do everything
Yeah.
perfect for me. So
That's perfect. Longboard or pennyboard?
penny board. Yeah.
What is the strangest nickname you've ever been given?
Little Nick.
Little Nick.
Yeah, kind of weird. But actually, that guy, Brian
You're very
Tunney-
tall, so.
Exactly. Yeah, that I was always the youngest guy hanging out in the group when I was younger, and that guy from ESPN, Brian Tunney, he was the first person who wrote about me saying like I refuse to call him Little Nick because he's so much taller than I am. And after that article came out, it was just like that was the end of that nickname pretty much. Like it just became people calling me by my name. So
Awesome. Yeah, it makes sense. It's like when you're a big guy and they call you tiny, right?
exactly, yeah.
So, did you play with tech decks as a little kid?
I did, yeah.
My son has those.
Oh yeah.
What was your go-to trick?
Honestly, not great at tricks with them. I love.
I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, I loved playing with them. I would say kickflip probably, but yeah, I'm not great at it. So,
What is a daily habit everyone should do?
start your morning doing anything. Honestly, like making your bed or anything. I feel like this past summer,
task.
I let it get away from me because my daughter was in school, or my daughter wasn't in school, and I just didn't have to be at the store till noon, so I'd just kind of lay around and do whatever during the day, and like I could do stuff from my phone for the website and whatever. So, I honestly, it was awful. I hated it. And now
Yeah.
that she's back in school, it's actually
like the
got me
routine.
back
Yeah.
into like getting up and doing something. Like I said, I sat down by the river drinking my coffee for a bit, and like, but yeah, it's just a good mindset to start the day off with something like that. So
Like it? Dad hat or flat bill?
I personally wear more of a flat bill style. I like unstructured 5 panels the most.
Yeah.
There's so many different hat
They're a lot
types out
easier
there.
to
It's
embroider. The
was that?
unstructured hats are a lot easier to embroider, I'll tell you that.
insane. Yeah, yeah. The
Our machine does not like the structured hats at all.
no, and I just like the way they look and feel better, more
Yeah.
comfortable. But yeah, it's
I have a very big head, so I have to wear like the big flat bill with the 5 panel because the dad hats or the unstructured, they like don't come down to like even my ears.
Oh,
so
yeah.
my head's too big. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I don't do karaoke. I'm not good at speaking in front of people and stuff. Like
singing.
Yeah, if
a
it's
whole
like
nother-
it depends on the situation, but like singing, definitely not. Like I can speak in front of a group of people, but like singing, not great. I did karaoke once.
What'd you sing?
It It was a really bad choice of a song for karaoke too, but I was like, oh, it's like there's like no lyrics to it, so I won't forget it. And then it was super awkward, but it was "This Is Why I'm Hot" by Mims. And yeah, it's like the same 5 words over and over again. A lot of awkward long pauses and stuff with no.
So that made it even more fun for you.
Yeah, it was awful. So that was my one time that I'll never do again.
Yeah, the first time I ever sang karaoke, and it's not my favorite thing either. I did "I Only Want to Be With You" by Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh yeah,
because I thought I could do like the impression, but then I realized like I only knew like one phrase of that song, and I'm like, so I didn't know how the song went or the cadence, so I just completely botched it. But it was an experience. It was an experience. What is the best thing that you can cook?
Brussels sprouts.
Really?
Yeah. I actually do like cooking. I don't get to do it very often, but I do enjoy it. And that is one thing that anytime anyone has tried my Brussels sprouts, that's what
We're gonna have
always
to
stands out.
try to take you up on that sometime. So you recently did like a collab with Matt Wagner. Matt works with us quite a bit. He did a documentary. What was that called?
I think it was called a short film.
Oh, just a short film. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember. I think it was just called Dead Bread, a short film. But
Yeah. So tell us a little about that experience.
it was awesome. Matt's awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah, he just came down to the store and we set up and just kind of filmed. That for me, actually, like I like this type of thing more than something like that. Because I like to interact instead of it just being all about me.
Yeah.
I don't like talking about myself, honestly, on a regular basis at all. So it was a little weird, but I enjoyed doing it. He made it easy. And then we just went to a skate park and filmed some stuff there. And
Yeah. Matt's very easy to work with.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And you guys got into some film festivals, I heard, or a film festival.
Yeah. He submitted it to a few film festivals. It got picked up by one so far, and we didn't even film it to be put into any film festivals or anything, so that was cool.
Those are the ones that make it the best when you just do it because you want to do the project.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. What is your favorite way to spend a Sunday?
I am at the store on Sundays. One of the few businesses in Downtown Owosso, I think, that's open on Sunday. But it actually gives me some time to do things around the store. That's usually because it's a little bit slower on Sunday. But typically, I like to get up, get a coffee, like I say, go for a bike ride or whatever, do something with my daughter, and then go down to the store for a few hours, take care of a few things, and then from there I'll either go out to Lansing or another nearby city and try to get on our bikes and go grab some food. I'm a huge foodie, so
me too.
Yeah, so
Tell for me though. Describe yourself as a kid.
pretty much the same as I am now.
Yeah.
I think. I have been riding BMX and skating since I was 12 years old, and I've always been into art and music and clothing and all that stuff since I was a kid, so nothing's really changed. I'm still
So you're getting to live out your inner child. That's fun, man. When you can do the things that you enjoy when you're an adult, that you enjoyed when you were a kid, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, is like I have that passion for it, like we talked about, and it just, it's always been there for me, and that's what I love doing. And
I can see it. I can see it, man. You can see it when you talk about it. So then, knowing that, what advice would you give to your 16-year-old self?
Start earlier, probably. Like when I was younger, I didn't do a whole lot. I just was riding BMX and kind of living that out a little bit. And I do wish I would have started Dead Bread a little bit earlier. I started still at the age of 23, I think it was, so not super old, but I definitely could have done more with it earlier on too.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. I mean, I didn't start this business till I was 35, and I'm thinking, man, what could I have done if I had started earlier? Like where I could be right now. But everything happens for a reason. No regrets, right?
Exactly,
you learn life lessons. That. When is the first time you truly felt successful?
I don't know. I mean, I will say, like, having Brian Tunney ask me to do something for ESPN was cool.
Yeah.
And then working with them over the years, doing a few things here and there, and then getting in my first magazine was really cool for me.
Yeah, I mean, experiencing those things along the journey just kind of validates and makes you feel like I'm doing something that
Exactly,
that it's
yeah.
working. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Because those things were things I loved. You
Yeah.
know, it's like they were things that I loved doing. Because for me, success isn't just like money. You know, it's
100%.
like, yeah, it's
Well, and I think it's important that everybody determines what success is to them. I think that's one of the questions I have for you here. So I guess we'll just go into that. So I think success is individual. Everyone should determine what it looks like for them, because how do you know that you're doing it if you don't even think about what it is? And, you know, I think most people think of success as financial success.
exactly.
But like to me personally, that's like way down on my list of goals.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I have an issue with somebody whose goal is make lots of money. Like if that's
yeah.
success,
Yeah.
you got to know that. So for Nick, what is success to you?
Just being happy. Yeah, you live once and you want to make sure that you're living it the way you want to live it. And any way possible to do that is success to me.
I've said on the podcast a lot, happiness is underrated.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think that most people, just like they don't think about what success is to them, they really don't stop and think about what makes me happy.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And I think everyone should sit down for a minute and think, what am I most happy, you know, when I'm doing this? And then can I turn that into a career? And a lot of times you can. Maybe sometimes you can't. But, you know, my mission statement for my life is to be happy and spend as many days as I can doing the things that I love. And sometimes you just have to do work, and that's part of life. But I want to spend as many days on this earth as I can doing something that I love and enjoy. And, you know, I don't want to be like the 94% of Americans who say they hate their job. Like
Yes.
I want to love life and love what I do. So
Yeah.
people need to really spend time thinking about that.
Oh, yeah.
In your opinion, what do you think some of the keys are to having a really good brand?
When it all started for Dead Bread, the name was the first part. And then the second part was instantly, as soon as I thought of that being the name, I had the idea for the logo in my head.
Yeah.
And I think having that attached to it is a huge deal.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, if you drive around and look at signs and their words, you know, it's, you know, you see the words.
Right.
Soon as you see something attached to it that stands out differently than just words,
Yep.
I feel like it's a big difference. You know, it's
100%.
like you look at Nike as an example.
Yep.
They have the word Nike and then they have the swoosh.
Yeah.
It's like they're known for that. Vans has like their little V.
Yep.
Every brand that is, you know, at the top, it looks like just has something
recognizable.
attached to it.
Yeah, a
Something
good
that
brand
stands
mark.
out.
I just did at the chamber. They asked me to speak about branding, the importance of branding, and I did a little game with everyone there where I showed them 20 logos and had them guess the logo.
Oh, yeah.
And all 20 logos were logos that didn't have words in it.
Exactly.
Like, it was recognizable just by the brand mark. You know, Nike, Target. And we just went down this, you know,
Yep.
and then even logos that had the words in it, like we did the Starbucks logo, but I took all the words out of it and
Yep.
just showed the, you know, the siren or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and it was quick. People recognize these brands, and I said that's one of the things that make up a good brand is when, you know, you have a strong image that people recognize, and it means something. And the other thing is when they see that Nike swoosh, or they see that red Target, like it means something to them.
Exactly.
Like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Like some people hate Nike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, some people love it. But either way, that brand represents something.
Yes.
What is a must-read book?
I actually don't get to read a lot of books nowadays.
Understand that.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to find time for that.
Can I recommend one to you?
Yeah, of
If you
course.
get time, if you do audiobooks, read the book Fans First.
Yeah.
It's by the guy who started the Savannah Bananas. Do you know what the Savannah Bananas is?
No, I haven't.
So they are a minor league professional baseball team.
Okay.
And they have a huge social media following, and they have completely reinvented what going to a baseball game is.
Yeah.
It's a minor league team in Savannah, Georgia, and they have been sold out every game for 3 years. They have waiting lists. They charge premium for tickets. People love going because the whole thing, it's not just watching a baseball game. It's an experience. The players interact with the crowd. They do like random dances in the middle of a play. Like
That's awesome.
a guy will be up to bat and the music will start and then they'll all do like a choreographed like goofy TikTok dance or something. It's a really cool thing. but it's neat listening to the owner talk about this philosophy they have. Their whole philosophy is fans first. Like, we don't do what's good for the business, we do what's good for the fans, or what's good for our customers. So he talks about whatever your brand is, really considering your fans, your followers, and what they want, and doing things that are unique and getting creative and being curious. And it's a fantastic book. It's made me rethink a lot of the things even that we do. Nice. And I like to think that in my business, I'm always thinking about my customers first, but even how to create an experience for them. And so it's a good book. It's called Fans First. I recommend just listening to it. Like, I usually just listen to it while I'm in the shower in the morning. Yeah. And it's been really, really good. So if someone with a brand like that, Fans I think First. You would really benefit from it.
I'll have to check that out, yeah.
What is the favorite place you've ever been?
Oof, that's tough. Honestly, Fossil Creek in northern Arizona is one of my favorite places I've ever been. It's just very relaxing, beautiful, and yeah, I definitely recommend anyone go there, check it out.
Fossil Creek. All right. Are you familiar with the YouTube channel Street Daddies? Shout out to Matt Wagner and Dan Dameron.
I am, actually. I didn't realize I was, but I am. I have been paying attention to it. I didn't pay attention to it on YouTube. I was watching the clips on Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love that.
What are your thoughts about these old guys trying to bring back the skate fire?
I love it. I mean, hey, if you know, it's like I said, I'm a big kid.
Yeah,
so
me too.
I'm still doing what I love doing, and that's something that they had that they loved doing as a kid, and life takes you away from it sometimes, and now they're finding it again. That's awesome. Awesome. I love that.
If you were stranded on an island with one album for the rest of your life, what would it be? You get a whole album, so.
Whole album.
I've had people ask the question like, how am I going to listen to an album without power? Let's not get too technical. What's the album?
No, I wasn't even thinking about that. No, it's hard for me because albums, you know, there's not many that are like perfect top to bottom, but there's this artist Orville Peck that I listen to a lot, and he had an album called Kalahari Down that is like one of my favorites. Anything from him or the Misfits, I would say. Like,
that would get you through.
Yeah.
All right.
Danzig Misfits though. That.
Must binge TV series.
Ooh, must binge. I watch a lot of like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Seinfeld and stuff like that.
I love Seinfeld. It's my favorite show of all time.
Yeah, same here. I actually have it down at the store, like in discs. Yeah.
I love Seinfeld. It never gets old.
Yeah. No, so I watch a lot of shows like that. So I don't watch like binge-worthy shows. It's more like put it on and go through it. I did like Longmire. That was a good one. That was binge-worthy.
I've heard that was good. I haven't watched it yet.
So, yeah.
What's a movie you could watch over and over again?
I would say I love the movie Blow. That's a really good one. Flight is a good one. Anything with Robin Williams, bringing him back up. He was awesome. So, yeah. Patch Adams. That was a really
That's a good one, yes.
Yeah.
If Hollywood made a movie about you, who would you like to see them cast as you?
Michael Cera.
I like that. I can see it. So when did your love for skating and BMX begin? Like, really, when was the first time you remember like getting on a bike or putting that skateboard on?
Actually, I was between 5 or 6. That's when I started both BMX and skating. And then for a little bit, I got away from it. I started playing bass and guitar and got into music a little bit. And then from there...
Sounds like Elijah, my son.
Yeah.
He kind of skips around the things that he likes.
But yeah. And then from like 10 years old, I started getting back into the BMX and skateboarding stuff. And then 12 years old was like... That was like 11 going into 12 was like, that was it. That's all I did. Like me and my friends would hop the train to New York with our bikes and skateboards and just like go out and hit the streets of New York. And
awesome.
Yeah, like we would, it's funny because I'd be on a bike and all of my friends were on skateboards at that point. And we would just bounce back and forth. Like I'd hop on one of their boards and then they would hop on my bike. And then that's when I started skating a bit more again. And then I think I was like probably 14, 15 when I was just like, the bike really kind of took over.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been in my life since I was like 6.
Great memories.
Yeah.
Great memories.
Oh yeah.
MSU or U of M?
Being from New Jersey, I'm pretty indifferent. I grew up next to Rutgers. I was going to say I grew up like
tough.
literally 10 minutes from Rutgers.
That's tough.
So any U of M or MSU against Rutgers games, I always have to watch them.
Yeah.
I always watch the U of M MSU rivalry stuff because
Because it's there, yeah.
I'll give it to MSU though, just because it's home.
It's closer, yeah.
Yeah, it's I
A
love
lot of
Ann
Sparty
Arbor.
fans around here.
I love Ann Arbor, but I will give it to MSU.
If you had one last meal, what are you eating?
I love seafood and steak, and if it wasn't that, then I would go back to New Jersey, New York, and eat pizza.
Oh, yes, New Jersey has some, and New York, incredible
'cause
pizza.
I miss pizza so much.
Yeah, I wish there was because I lived in New York for 4 years. So I wish there was a place around here that sold pizza by the slice.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
just the thin crust, big slices.
Yep,
Yeah.
the sauce.
Definitely miss that. Tony Hawk or Andy McDonald?
Ooh, I'm gonna stay with Tony Hawk. I know it's like a pretty.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's hard. He's just done so much for skateboarding at this
Yeah.
point. I mean, he still is like he's still skating, but like now he's just making skate parks all over the world still on a regular basis, and he just does so much for it that it's hard to not say Tony Hawk.
Right.
So
What's a totally irrational fear that you have?
I don't know if I have many actually.
No fear?
No, I mean my fear is I don't know. Talking in front of people that about myself, probably. I guess.
Understood.
Yeah.
Where's the best place to skate or ride a bike in Owosso?
The Ozone Skate Plaza.
Okay, where's that at?
Up by where Home and Pool used to be.
Oh, I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yep.
It's called the
Yeah.
Ozone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, that's
how
where the street
name
daddies
came-
go.
Yeah. I don't know where the name even came from. It just like I was on the Parks and Rec committee to help get it built, and there was a lot of things that just kind of like
Yeah.
it happened all so quick.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
it's-
glad they did something with it. I missed the city pool. I thought that was kind of cool from my childhood. But yeah, with the way the world is today and everyone's so conscious about germs, I don't know that a city pool would probably be all right. But
yeah.
it was a good memory. If you could broadcast a message to the entire world right now, what would it be?
Find happiness, live your life, and yeah, that's it. Really, just try to find a way of being happy as best as you can, and do it as much as you can.
Love it. What is your proudest achievement?
Raising my daughter and Dead Bread. That's the two main things for me that even past like the stuff I did with BMX and stuff, like doing what I'm doing currently is what's important to me. So that's it.
That's great, man. That's really good. What is something important that you've learned in this journey you've taken that you think would help someone else be successful?
Honestly, it's you got to learn the hard way. Honestly, there's really no easy way outs on a lot of things.
Hey, that's the name of our podcast, right? No easy way out.
That's awesome. Actually.
That's why we started it.
Yeah, exactly. There really is no easy way out. I mean, you can ask people questions and like talk to people about things, and even if you go to school, I feel like it's you can learn as much as you can learn, but there's still so much you have to learn while physically doing it. So yeah, and everything is different for everyone. So it's like I could ask a million questions to anyone who owns a clothing brand, and it might
different
not
answers.
it might not be what I want to do or how I want to do it. And so no matter what, there's no easy way out, and you got to learn the hard way. And yeah.
Well, I love that, man. I mean, yeah, that was why we named this podcast that. I mean, it was inspired by my favorite movie, Rocky IV. That song, No Easy Way Out.
Yeah.
But to me, like, as I've encountered, I worked around a lot of young people, older people that want to start businesses, and especially younger people. I feel like maybe because of social media, they just are looking for this quick overnight success.
Instant gratification.
It does happen, but it's so rare. It's like 1 in a billion, I mean, like the person that just went viral like that,
Post Malone.
Yeah,
He's like
exactly.
the perfect example.
Yeah.
And I love how
many of
humble-
him are there, right?
Yeah. I love how humble he is because of it too. And
Yeah.
like, he he wasn't even making rap music when he did
Yeah.
it. He was playing acoustic guitar at bars and then just made a rap song, and it went viral. And
Yeah.
you know, he is that one person that's like,
But he's a very authentic person.
exactly, which is
So,
awesome.
I mean, you have to find what you're passionate about.
Yes.
You got to be willing to put in your time,
Yep.
put in your hours. There's going to be times where it's like, why do I do this? Is it even worth it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're 112 episodes into our podcast, and there were times where we were getting 13 views, 18
yeah.
views, and even now we don't go viral. We're a local podcast,
Yeah.
and so you have to like, why do I do this? And if you don't define your why, and if you're not willing to push through when it's hard or when it sucks or when it's difficult, you just aren't going to be successful. I mean,
yeah.
when I tell people, when I say there's no easy way out, it doesn't mean that you're not going to find some easy things along the way, but there's no easy path to success. Like
Yeah.
you just got to be committed to doing it. Put in your years, put in your time, and it will come.
Oh yeah,
All right, last question. We made it to number 50. Can you believe it?
that's 50.
That went quick, right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
With everything going on in your life, what makes you most happy these days?
My daughter, 100%.
I thought that might be what you said.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the stuff going on at the stores makes me happy. I love being there. I love the people that come in and out every day and getting to talk to them, and all the friends that stop through and support and whatever. I do love that aspect of my life too, but definitely my daughter, when I pick her up from school and she runs up to me and then, you know, we go do our thing for the day. That's what's important to me, and that's what I love. So
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Appreciate you letting me get to know you a little bit, let our audience get to know you.
Thank
I'm
you for having me.
excited about what you're doing. Look forward to seeing you guys grow and look forward to seeing your success. If there's ever anything we can do to help you, we're just around the corner. We're happy to help. I'm happy to be a part of it. But we just enjoy watching you from the side and seeing what you got going on over there. And I look forward to seeing the future of Dead Bread
thank you. Thank you.
become a household name, right? You never know.
Never know.
So before you go, though, I always allow my guests to look into that camera right there and plug whatever it is you want to plug, man. So plug away.
I guess, honestly, just Dead Bread. We're located at 201 South Washington Street in Owosso, Michigan.
The old JCPenney building.
The old JCPenney building. That's what so many people come in and talk about that.
That's what they remember,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, and it's so different there now. So if you haven't
is.
checked out the building, definitely go check it out because it is cool. All the different businesses in
Very
there.
cool.
And then we're also at deadbreadmfg.com. You can check out our website. Yeah, that's about it.
Follow them on socials. You guys are on.
Yeah, we're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So Dead Bread MFG, I think, on all three of them, or Dead Bread's on Facebook.
Yeah.
So
Well, check them out. Thanks again, man. We appreciate it.
thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
And thank you for watching. As my mother always said, you can't and never could until you tried. So go out there and try something great, my friends. Don't take the easy way out. We'll see you next time.